wrestling, and whatever else they can come up with on a whim. You're listening to the Slackercast.
What's up, everybody? Here at you with another episode of the Slackercast. I am Greg, and with me always is Lawrence.
Yo, what's up?
Corey from the S'mores Indoors podcast.
What's up, everybody?
And Dustin. No big entrance for you, buddy. Sorry.
Just drinking beers.
All right, so, gentlemen, what's been going on?
How's his hair get wilder every time?
I don't know.
I don't know, man. Why does it? I don't know. It looks gray.
It's out of control.
Just depends on how I play with it before.
You kind of look like Harry Connick Jr. in Copycat. You know,
Oh, yes.
I get Harry Connick Jr. a lot. Everyone says I look
He
like
does.
He does.
All right, gentlemen. So today we're doing another top 10 list. Our top 10 favorite sports movies. But before we get into that, I want to discuss this disagreement that we were having about the whether or not a documentary is a sports movie. Because I know a couple people wanted to have documentaries on their list, and I kind of was like, I don't think they're movies. But
Well, what'd you say again?
No,
I was like,
you took it way serious.
Yeah, what was the argument? I thought they were films. I mean, people are talking. There's film being made, so I figured.
I get your argument about the 30 for 30 stuff because that was like TV things. You know, I actually had Hoop Dreams on my list. I took it off just for the hell of it. But that was actually, I think it did have a theatrical release. If I'm not mistaken, it was like an Oscar winner as well.
It was. That's what I was telling Greg.
well, yeah, we were discussing that earlier. Why do I look like I have Vaseline all over?
Yeah, your face is super shiny. Though.
I like it though, man.
It's probably because of the way I got the camera position, but oh well.
Yeah,
it's whatever.
Hoop Dreams. I was looking at a lot of sport movie lists, and Hoop Dreams is at the top of a lot of those lists.
My argument is because I think documentaries deserve their own category.
They definitely do.
So I mean, I feel like having.
I disagree with you until you said that, and when you said that, I was like, yeah, you know what, he's right. So you were right,
Yeah.
Greg.
Well, I mean, even at the award shows and such, like they have their own category. Then, like a documentary is always in a documentary category. It's not usually in like the best drama or best, whatever.
Cool.
Hold on. But hold on, I'm gonna try something real quick before we get going here. Let me switch something up. Y'all can continue talking. I mean, you don't have to stop on my account.
So let's pretend documentaries were included. Would any of you guys had Hoop Dreams in your top 10? Because I did.
Yes, that would have been on mine. It's just too good.
It would not have been in mine.
I don't believe I've actually ever seen it. So
It's if you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch for sure.
It's been ages since I've
But
seen
Corey,
it.
where would you put something like a documentary like Catching Hill, the 30 for 30 one? I know you've seen that one.
See, I wouldn't even put those on a documentary list just because they were kind of made for TV documentaries.
I hear you.
To me, it's tough because, I mean, I respect those 30 for 30s a lot. They're some of the best sports documentaries you can have.
Is that better?
yeah, now you look skinny again and less shiny.
Skinny again? He does.
Should I keep the light on
The
or
Last
off?
Dance? Have you seen The Last Dance?
It's probably better.
Yeah, I love that too.
I love that documentary. That one's great.
You know, the best 30 for 30 I've seen, I think, is the OJ one they did.
Yeah,
Oh, I
that
haven't
one
seen
won
that.
Oscars or Emmys, I think.
It's really good. I
But
love
did he
the-
actually do it? Does it prove that or disprove that? Or
Yeah, he did it. Come on. Shit.
You know what? It's for years. I was on the OJ didn't do it bandwagon. It was someone else. Then I watched that OJ documentary, that one that was on A&E, like the People versus OJ. And after I watched that, I was like, "Oh, this fucker did it."
yeah, he did it. And then the thing is this: like one of the jurors came out and was like, "I only said he didn't do it. I only gave him a not guilty because of the Rodney King thing. It was revenge for that whole episode before, and it was a bad time."
That's a big theme in that whole 30 for 30 too. The dude wrote a book saying, "If I did it, this is how I would have done it."
Yeah, I saw that too.
You know. So.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. A rough day.
What's going on, Hayden? All right, so I guess we're just gonna jump right into it. I've got my list loaded. I can't wait.
My list is
to reveal it to y'all, but
so mad, Greg.
I've actually even got a stack of visual aids. I pulled as many of the DVDs and Blu-rays that I have of these movies. So
see, that is why Corey is the fucking champion right there.
1,000 subs. So
it was so hard to make this list. I even went on like Rotten Tomatoes and all kinds of places just because I didn't want to like leave anything out, and there was so many that I did leave out because I just decided that I was just gonna pick movies that mean the most to me because I have so many that I like that it was too hard to pick.
All right. So let's go around first.
Hold on, I got a couple of questions before we start. First off, do any of you think you have some pretty surprising selections?
Oh
yeah,
definitely.
Definitely.
I got Greg mad on this one.
As a matter of fact, my honorable mentions are going to shock people that I have these movies just as an honorable mention.
Now, I was going to ask another question, but that'll kind of give away something, so I'll skip that question. But,
okay.
So go ahead, Greg, where you were going.
I say we just jump right into the honorable mentions, man. Let's. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just do one at a time. I have 5. How many do y'all have?
Everyone I did 5.
I did 5.
I have 4. Yeah.
All right. Well,
no, I have 5.
You have 5. Okay, cool. Well, I'll start out. Usually, I make myself go last, but I'll do mine first this time. I'll be the guinea pig here. The first one on these are out of in no rant and no specific order, by the way. My first honorable mention is the Disney movie Miracle, the hockey movie with Kurt Russell.
Nice.
That's a good one.
It's a really good movie. It barely missed my top 10 because I wanted to put it in there, but I had to take it out for something else. But I do love that movie. And I will say that mostly my list is based on movies that, like my top 10 anyway, is based on movies that I pretty much rewatch constantly. Like anytime I catch them on TV, I'm going to watch it again. I'm not going to turn the channel. So that's mostly what my list is based on. And I had Miracle as my first honorable mention.
Nice.
Lawrence, we'll just go clockwise here.
Right.
So, Lawrence, you'll be next here.
I put, and this is going to surprise some people, man, but I put the Disney movie Cars on it. And I know it's going to piss some people off, but I had a good reason for Cars. I know it's animated, but NASCAR doesn't get a lot of love. I mean, it just doesn't. Outside of its own audience, like Cars kind of made it to where it was for everyone. It was kind of a big thing, not just the core people that have been following it for years. But Cars kind of brought it to that everyone level. I don't know if that's a thing, but, and I felt it was good. I just liked it.
You know what? I almost want to give you shit for having that as your list, but I can't really argue because it is about NASCAR. It is a sport. It is about a sport. So I mean, it technically qualifies as a sports movie.
Cars is one of my least favorite Disney movies.
Jesus.
Sorry.
I'm sorry, guys. All right.
Cool.
All right, Corey, what do you have for your first honorable mention?
Well, this was a little further down on my honorable mention list, but hey, since you mentioned it.
Nice.
Yes, great movie. Great movie.
Just a really, really good telling of that story from the '80 Olympics. So put it on the honorable mentions.
Hey Corey, have you seen the 30 for 30 one from the Russians' perspective about the Soviets version of it?
I want to say I did, but I can't remember for
That
sure.
was really good.
I'll check it out.
All right, Dustin, what do you got for your first honorable mention?
Well, following in Lawrence's theme, I picked Talladega Nights.
Oh, cool.
Oh, see, good. Yes.
I like that.
Okay, it's a good movie. Good.
Classic. I mean, what can I say about that movie?
What can be said about that movie that hasn't already been said?
Exactly.
I'm glad some comedies are making it in here. I thought it'd
Shake
be
and
all
bake,
serious.
baby. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake.
All right. So me and Corey both had Miracle, which I'm actually shocked that made someone else's list, really.
I had it on mine, but I took it off because it was just one of those that was just I had too many to pick from, so I just took that one off.
And so my next honorable mention is a film I actually just watched about a week ago, and it is Hoosiers.
Ah, good.
That's a good one.
Very good.
I wanted to put this in my top 10 so bad, but because it was so new, and it's
No, Hoosiers is old.
I mean, yeah, well, I mean, new to me, like not
sorry.
new, like like me new seeing it. I just didn't feel like it belonged in my top 10 until I developed some more love for it. But it was a great movie, man. It's a great sports story. It had everything that you need in a sports movie. It had the comeback story, had the new coach coming in, had Dennis Hopper as a drunk.
It was remade as Coach Carter. It's pretty much the same movie.
Yeah.
Well, Coach Carter's a true story, though.
Oh, sorry.
Shameless plug for my channel. If you look it up, I interviewed the writer of Hoosiers and Rudy a while back, so that's on the channel somewhere.
Just an FYI, Dustin, Hoosiers is based on a true story. It just was different, a different team. Because if you download I downloaded the special features and such for it, and it has like the game that the movie was based off of, which was like a big comeback game.
Yeah, I think I did know that.
So Lawrence,
All right.
moving on.
Speaking of Rudy was in my honorable mentions. It was originally in my top 10
Fucking
list.
travesty.
But Rudy, I feel like it's the same thing what Greg said. It's kind of new to me. I seen it a couple years ago, and I liked it, but I feel like it wasn't something that was in my childhood. I knew of it, but I mean, I just have it in my honorables.
I want to kick you off
classic,
this fucking podcast for that. I just want to tell you that right now.
What, for Rudy? What's wrong with Rudy?
That's just the thing. There's nothing wrong with it.
Oh.
What's wrong with it? It's in your fucking honorable mentions and not your top 10. That's what's wrong with it.
My top 10 is filled right now. It was in there, man, but I didn't make the cut. So moving on.
No Indiana love. Corey.
Well, guess what? You can kick me off the show too, because Rudy's in my honorable mentions.
Fucking sons of bitches.
I actually left it off my
Oh
list
my
because it was
God.
another one that I just couldn't put in my list because there was too many to pick from. So I just took that one off.
I
Y'all
like
are
Rudy a
killing me.
lot. I like Rudy a lot. It just loses a little bit every time I watch it for some reason. It's kind of slow. That's kind of my
It is a
biggest
slow
problem
burn. I'll
with
give
it.
you that.
But I do love it. There's just so many sports movies I love. That's like one of my favorite kind of genre of film is sports movies. So it's tough.
Corey, it hurts even worse coming from you, man. We're from the
Can't
same
help it.
place. All right,
It was
Dustin.
definitely the hardest list. This was the hardest list to make, man.
Dustin,
took
make
me
me
all
feel
week.
good with something that belongs in the honorable mentions.
Oh, okay. Well, my next honorable mention is dodgeball.
Okay, maybe on the next pick you'll make him proud.
I already see where
Good
Dustin's fucking list is
friend.
going right now. Every fucking movie is going to be a comedy.
No, it's
That's
just
what I'm saying.
these
Okay.
are I picked the movies that I have the most
next one's
memories of, and the ones I
No,
love the most.
dodgeball is great, man. I love it. It's a good laugh. And I guess
No, dude,
dodgeball.
basketball's his next one.
Dodgeball is technically considered a sport, so I mean,
God damn, I forgot about basketball. Shit.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Trey Parker and
that
Matt Hill.
I love that one.
Trey Parker and
Uh,
Matt Stone. Who's Matt Hill?
Is it
so
a sports movie if it's not a real sport? That's what
all right. Well, you know what? Since y'all are pulling out some bullshit with this Rudy, my next honorable mention is Field of Dreams.
Ah, good one.
I don't even like that movie.
It's great, man. It belong. I wouldn't blame anyone for having it in their top 10 because it's probably one of the best baseball movies ever made. But it's just like it's the movie that when I catch it on, I'm like, I've already seen this. I'm gonna change the channel.
Greg, it's not better than Bull Durham.
Uh,
He says,
That's the best baseball movie ever made.
some people think so.
I don't know. I never liked that movie. That was like one of my dad's favorite movies. I just don't. I don't know.
I think it's an era movie. I think it all depends on what era you were born in, on how much you love it. Like the modern era doesn't really care for it as much as like people who grew up when that movie came out. When that movie came out, it was a big deal, man. A lot of people were talking about it. So.
right.
And it's yeah, that's my next honorable mention. So Lawrence, moving on to you.
Now you're really going to hate me. You're probably going to close my screen out, but my next honorable mention was Fast and Furious. And this is why.
No.
Before we get started.
Look at my
That's-
face.
That,
Look at
that
my
is not a
fucking
sports
face.
movie.
You should have allowed Hoop Dream. Shit.
Street
think
racing. Street racing was a legitimate sport, man. It
No,
was
it's
illegal.
not.
No, it's not. It's street racing.
They
There's
put a lot
nothing
of work.
legitimate about it.
It's like NASCAR, but on the streets, dude.
No,
There's
it's
nothing wrong.
not.
No. There's no. That one.
If you
Take it off your list.
no, because
Take it
souping
off.
up, dude.
No.
Come on, man. They soup
No.
up cars. They do a lot of. They
That's
do a
an
lot
action movie. It's not a. That's not
Look,
a sports movie.
Look here, Lawrence. I gave you a fucking pass with cars, okay?
of. All right.
when
It's
you
off
start
the
bringing
list.
in shit like the Fast and the Furious,
I
Do you
thought
know
it was.
I've
I thought it
never
was a
seen
sport.
a Fast and Furious movie ever because they always looked lame to me, so I just never.
No, the first one was different. Greg, you got to admit, the first one's not like the other ones because it has legitimate street racing.
you're right. It was a great action movie.
Well, just wait till they're getting ready to do a Fast and Furious and Jurassic World crossover. So
Oh,
That'll be
fucking
exciting.
kill me now.
No way. Is that a real
All right,
thing?
so okay,
yeah,
so
that's
Fast and Furious.
supposedly going to happen.
Fast and Furious is off the list then. Okay,
You
I
know
agree
what,
with
Corey? Save me from this. What's
All
your
right.
next pick, man?
Yeah, moving on.
All right, so I got another hockey movie, Slapshot with Paul Newman. I think it's from the 70s.
A lot of
Pretty
people love that.
fun little movie. Hockey's just not my favorite sport, so that
You
kind
know,
of takes it down a little bit.
when I was looking through like picking out movies, like I did kind of like you did, and I went through like a list of top 100, top 200 sports movies, and kind of picked some from there. And I saw that one listed on just about every single one of them that I looked at, and it made me curious because I've never seen it. So
I
Me
haven't
neither.
either.
If you haven't
But-
seen it, check it out. It's pretty good.
Dustin, what do you got?
My next honorable mention was Bull Durham.
Oh.
Durham?
Love that.
Oh,
movie.
now he's fucking clapping.
That's a good choice, man.
Better
than
Lawrence
Field of
should
Dreams.
lose his podcasting privileges for the rest of the night for that Fast and Furious shit.
I'm
Oh
telling you.
man. Oh.
All right, my next honorable mention is Remember the Titans.
Oh,
Nice.
what the fuck?
That's a good one. It was one of mine.
I bet Lawrence's next one will be Judgment Night because Cuba Gooding wears a Purdue jacket and they're running a lot. So,
Demolition Man because it has Dennis Rodman in it.
yeah.
Yeah.
He looks at a basketball in that one.
Wait a minute. What the fuck you talking about? Dennis Rodman's not in Demolition Man.
Not Demolition Man. What was he in?
Double team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Steel would be mine because Shaq was in that one.
I mean,
so.
Wesley Snipes looked like
No.
Dennis Rodman in Demolition Man.
Yeah. I don't know. I love that movie too.
But yeah, the reason Remember the Titans is only in my honorable mentions is because I like that movie. I think it's a great movie, but I just don't have the love for it that everyone else does. I know a lot of people think that's like the greatest football movie ever made.
Well, it's based on a true story, believe it or not. That's the actual,
Look, fact, fiction, I don't care. Okay, the only spot it serves on my list is the honorable mentions. No, it's a great story. I like it. It's got the comeback thing. It just I don't know, man. It just didn't make my list.
Okay. Well, I had that as well, so I'll skip that one. My last one then.
Wait, no, just keep that one.
Yeah, keep that one.
Keep that one. We'll come
Okay,
back
well,
around
it's
to
in
it.
there.
All right, so Remember the Titans for you as
Okay.
well. Corey?
My next one is a movie with Kevin Costner and Kelly Preston, rest in peace, for Love of the Game. Kevin Costner's a pitcher for the Tigers, and it kind of goes like a timeline through his last game pitching. It's kind of more love story than baseball to some degree, but I don't know. It's a movie that kind of grew on me, and I think it's worth a watch if you guys haven't seen it.
No, I haven't seen it.
I have not seen it as well.
Can we just say, by the way,
Kevin Costner?
yeah, can we just say, by the way, Kevin Costner, the greatest sports movie actor of all time?
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Why did he not play baseball for real since he was in nothing but baseball movies?
And he did a couple golf movies too.
All right, Dustin, what do you got?
Oh, this one's gonna make you mad, I think, Greg.
Yeah, you're going to lose
We're
your
not,
privileges.
we're not even to the top 10 yet.
I'm telling you right now, nothing is going to anger me more than the Fast and Furious. Nothing. There's no way.
Yeah, I didn't think Lawrence would top me on this one, but I put the Rocky movies in.
Oh, that's fine.
No,
Yeah, those
those
are sports movies. So yeah.
Well, I just thought you would be mad that I put them in my honorable mentions, but yeah.
I do definitely think they belong better than an honorable mention, but
I mean, they're good and I love them, but I don't know. They're not in my top 10.
do you watch them every time they come on?
But I do probably it depends on which one it is. Like Rocky 4, every time I'll watch that shit.
If I could change, you could change.
Everybody can change.
Yeah.
All right, so we're back to me. This is my final honorable mention. Corey, you're probably going to think this one belongs in my top 10, especially since you introduced me to this movie. But Major League, the first one.
Oh.
I never heard of it.
Fantastic.
What?
It's the perfect mix of baseball and comedy. I mean, there's the first one had a magic to it that the second one didn't quite capture. The second one was still good, but that first Major League, man, was just it had all the characters. You had Wesley Snipes as like the guy who steals bases and like the cocky guy. It was just great. Tom Berenger was like the old washed up ball player who was still, trying to stay in there. It's a great movie, man. If you've never seen Major League, do yourself a service and watch it.
Yeah, I agree.
Watch 1 and 2. They're both good.
Yeah.
I even have a little love for 3. I know it sucks, but
Is that the one, the minor league one?
yeah.
Yeah, I like that one too. I like them all. So,
Yeah, it was good. It wasn't as good as the first two.
No.
yeah, it's hard to top those.
So, Lawrence, what is your final?
My
I'm scared.
final. No, this is a legitimate one.
Hey, Jamie, thanks for joining.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Jamie?
Oh.
Cool Runnings. I watched this as a
Good
kid.
movie.
And me and my brothers love this one. John Candy, the late great John Candy's in it.
Another
It's
true story.
Another true story. Bringing a sport to Jamaica that they had never even seen snow, and just how incredible that story was. I mean, for them to be champions.
And what was so good about that movie is most people didn't know what the fuck bobsledding was until they watched that movie.
I definitely didn't. But the characters were all great, man. When they were training and shit, so it was all good.
And the finish of that movie is just heartbreaking. So
Yeah, that was my last honorable mention too. Was Cool Runnings.
Cool Runnings.
I love that movie.
So Corey, then we're to you. What's your
So
last honorable mention?
My last honorable mention, Dustin kind of mentioned it, going back to Kevin Costner and golf with a tin cup.
Yep, that's a good one.
You know, I
Goddamn
had
Kevin Costner.
all the way up until just the other day, I had Tin Cup in my honorable mentions, and I replaced it with I think Field of Dreams.
Yeah.
I had to take it off too, but it's a good one.
It's good. It's been a while since I watched that. I really need to watch that again. It's
yeah, I do
long.
too. The showdown at the very end, like that,
Yeah.
that ending sequence in that movie is phenomenal.
I feel like too that was like a return for Don Johnson. He hadn't done anything for a while when he did that, and
Yeah,
it's kind of a comeback for him too. So that was cool.
Nice.
So now we're on to the ones that matter. The top 10.
Top 10. Here we go.
All right. So my top 10 is a movie that I know you will definitely approve of, Corey. I don't know if Lawrence and Dustin has seen it, but my number 10 is Blue Chips.
I never heard of it.
That's a good one.
I would have never watched this movie had Corey not recommended it to me. And once I watched it.
Did you watch it when it came out, or did you watch it before?
Like whenever it came out on, what was it, VHS
Yeah,
at the time?
Yeah.
So yeah, I watched it when it came out because that's back when me and Corey was like, burning, like not really, I say burning. We were dubbing our recording. I guess you just call it recording. Like every movie that we could possibly get our hands on and rent from a video store.
Yeah, we rented and watched a lot of shit back then. So.
But I mean, I loved that movie. I loved Nick Nolte as a coach. I thought Shaq and Penny Hardaway and all those people did a good job in the movie. Just like the flow of that movie is so good, and like the characters are so likable that it's hard to not love it.
Yeah.
But Blue Chips is my number 10.
All right.
I like it, Greg.
I guess it's my turn now.
It is your turn.
All right. So number 10
scares me.
Let me say it first. But number 10 for me was Mighty Ducks D2. And if you were a kid,
number 2,
and I say number 2 because that was the one that was just straightforward. We saw that one back to back. Like I think I owned that one, but it was. I didn't know anything about hockey, but everyone knew the Mighty Ducks. That was like my favorite team. Period. We all were Mighty Ducks. If you were a kid in that era, it was just great. Coach Bombay, Emilio Estevez. Yeah, that name, you just kind of smile when you hear it because it was just like you just remember that whole time. So that's what I got. Justin's so unimpressed. He's like, "What the fuck?"
So Corey, can you top that? Can you top those two with your number 10?
All I can say is that for my number 10, great minds think alike, I guess, because
oh man, that's a Blu-ray that I have to have right there. I gotta get it.
I love when he punts the basketball in the gym.
Oh yeah,
I love that scene. This is more a movie of like favorite scenes for me than like the movie's not the greatest movie in the world, but like some of the scenes are just great, and I love watching it for that reason. So that's my number 10.
All right.
So Dustin,
my number 10 is a movie that none of y'all have probably seen, but my number 10 is Goon.
I
have not seen that.
That is a great. It has Sean William Scott.
Sean William Scott. Yeah.
Hockey movie. He's like a guy, like a bartender or like a bouncer in a bar, and he can fight, and a hockey coach picks him up just so that he can fight the whole time. But he's actually like a really nice guy.
Yeah,
the movie's like funny. It has a good story, good comeback story. It's good.
I've heard good things about it.
And what I like about it, Dustin bringing that up though, the Sean William Scott's usually a douchebag in his movies or some idiot, but he actually plays a pretty good-hearted guy. Like
he has a huge heart, but he can beat the shit out of everybody.
So Goon is your number 10, and Dustin.
That's my number 10. Yep.
I will say before I say my number 9 here that I actually just made a change on my list. I changed up my number 2 and my number 4. So we will we'll get to that when we get to it. But My number 9 is, I kind of cheated on this one, I'm not going to lie. I put Mighty Ducks 1 through 3. Because
I'm impressed, though. I respect you for that.
my reasoning is because the first 3 Mighty Ducks movies were just great. All of them were good. They
Right.
kind of started taking a turn for, very cookie cutter towards the fourth movie and beyond. I didn't really care for them after that, but the first 3 movies I love, man. I'll watch them every time they come on.
And they were all kind of, after the third movie, they were all kind of just like made for TV, Disney Channel type stuff.
And
Yeah,
there was. Go ahead, Greg.
They're just feel good movies, man. Like, you feel good when you watch those movies.
And Greg, there was no other team like those Mighty Ducks guys, like the goalie
Exactly.
Goldberg.
That's what made those movies was the characters.
Exactly.
There is a TV series now that actually has Emilio Estevez playing Coach Bombay.
I've heard that. I actually
It's
want
on
to check
Disney
it out.
Plus. I keep looking at it every time I start up Disney Plus for my son, and I'm like, I need to watch that, but I haven't checked it out yet.
Nice.
But yeah, Mighty Ducks 1 through 3 is my number 9. So
I like it.
moving on to you, Lawrence.
This is going to surprise some people. You probably never even heard of this movie, but it's early 2000s. The Greatest Game Ever Played with Shia LaBeouf in it before he became crazy. Now, to see this movie it's like a period piece in like 1920s, 1910s. And it's a true story. It's about this kid who plays golf, and the greatest game ever played is referring to golf in this film. And he's just like a teenager, and he's just gifted at golf, and he goes up against like the greatest British like golfers. And back in those days, if you weren't like a gentleman, you had no business playing golf. You weren't a part of the aristocracy. They wouldn't even let you in. But he was so good that they couldn't deny him, and he would play against him. He beat basically the British champion, and it was like a big thing. So it was a great movie.
Actually, at first, I would have accused you of not even seeing that movie, just like throwing it on your list just because.
No,
just because. But then when you described it so well, I was like, okay, maybe he has seen that.
No, I don't cheat. I'm not you, Greg.
So, what was it called again? The Greatest Game Ever Played?
Yes.
That is your number 9. So, Corey, what do you have for your number 9?
And by the way, Tin Cup was in my honorable mentions, Hayden. So there you go. My number 9 is not. I guess it's coming up on 20 years old now, which is insane to me. But Keanu Reeves and The Replacements.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Hardball.
Good one.
Yeah, Replacements was good.
No, I've always loved. This is one of my favorite football movies for sure. Just love all the characters on the team, and
it brought Gene Hackman back in coaching.
And the Redskins almost thought about changing their name to the Sentinels from that movie. So
They have a chance
apparently there's a guy that owns that name. That's why. That's one of the reasons why he owns like 70 of the possible Redskins names.
Yeah. So
that was another movie. Replacements was one that I had to leave off because I just too many to pick from. But I love that movie too.
That's one I just like. Will always stop and watch if I flip and it's on or something. So.
All right, my number 9 is Little Giants.
Jamie approves of your choice there, Corey.
Cool.
Yeah. I wouldn't expected that on Dustin's list, so go ahead.
Little Giants?
Yeah.
Anything to say about it?
I mean, it's just so the reason why I put it on there is because I used to watch that movie like on repeat when I was a kid. And I was on a plane when I went to Seattle a few months ago. I was on a plane, and it was on one of the movies that you could watch on the plane. And I was like, you know what? I haven't seen this movie in forever. And I watched it, and I forgot how good it is, man. It's got fucking Al Bundy and Rick Moranis.
Yeah.
It's so good, man.
So, for my number 8, I'm going to hit you guys hard with this one. I hope you're ready.
Go ahead.
Well, actually, maybe I'm not going to hit you hard, but I'm going to kick you hard because
Let me
my
guess,
number
Fast
8 is The Karate Kid.
Fucking asshole. Damn. That's on mine, too. Go ahead.
what cannot be said about the Karate Kid, man. If you don't love this movie, I think there's just something wrong with you, because it is the perfect feel-good movie, man. It has the storybook ending. You know, the guy trying to go after the girl, getting his ass kicked by the other guys who are just better at the sport than him because he doesn't know anything about it yet. And plus, they'd introduced us to Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
I couldn't decide whether to put that on my list or not, because it is definitely one of my all-time favorite movies, but I couldn't decide if it was actually a sports movie or not. So
Greg,
I left it off.
Greg,
well, martial arts is a sport, and they have a tournament, so
yeah, I mean,
yeah, but Greg, did you put just 1 or 1 through 3? What was your favorite one of those?
No, just the original is the one that's on my. I love all the Karate Kid movies, but the original Karate Kid is my favorite Karate Kid movie, hands down. So
yeah, Kingpin counts, Jamie. It's a
Yeah,
sports
damn
movie.
it. And damn, I just thought about that one. That would have probably made at least the honorable mentions for me.
yeah, I almost put it in mine, actually.
I forgot about it.
All right, so I guess I'm next, huh, Greg?
You are next.
Number 8 is going to surprise some people, probably sicken a few others, but my number 8 is Angels in the Outfield. I saw this nonstop.
That's a good
as
choice.
kid. I had it on
that's a great
VHS.
movie, man. That's a
And
great
watched it till the fucking film would crinkle and get all weird because I had it on VHS back in the day. But who didn't cry whenever they found out Mel was going to die? Because the Angels came back and told him, like, this is his last game or some crap. He had cancer. And then when everyone got up and did the little angel thing in the stands, the whole audience stands up and just,
Man, now I feel bad about not having that in my honorable mentions.
Danny
I was gonna
Glover.
put that in my top 10. That was another movie that I wanted to put on my list, but I forgot about it because there was so many. It took me a week to compile this list. And that was actually one of the first movies I thought about because I too, Lawrence, watched that movie till the fucking tape broke. So
it's so good, and like everyone's good, and like Danny Glover is the mean coach who gets these kids, and then his heart kind of warms up to him, and he believes them. And you got to believe, like the people have to question whether he's crazy or not because he's seeing Angels help these teams out. And who hasn't prayed for their team to win? Like they're in a Super Bowl, and what if
absolutely
Angels
glorious
came and help you?
All
out?
right,
So,
Lawrence, you've redeemed yourself now from the Fast and Furious thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I forget.
I was going to ask Lawrence. I was going to tell him he didn't have to pick all Disney movies for his sports.
a lot of these are Disney coming up. I just realized. All right, that's
all right. That's all right.
So moving on to you, Corey. What do you got for your number 8?
Number 8 is Bull
Durham.
Yeah.
It's a movie that it's kind of grown on me over the years. It wasn't like one of my favorites for a while, and it's really grown on me. I love Tim Robbins in it. And,
Man, Danny Glover's getting the hate from Hayden here.
What? Why? What the fuck? It wasn't a 90s movie if he wasn't in it somehow.
We had to lose Dustin right as we move on to him for his next pick.
Oh, really?
I actually haven't seen Bull Durham in so many years that I don't remember much about it, so it's one I need to revisit.
Yeah, you should. Like I said, I used to not be as huge a fan of it, and it's really grown on me. I think maybe as I've gotten older, it's like hit me a little more. I don't know. But,
Corey, is Sarah Sarandon hot? Who's the
Susan
chick?
Sarandon.
Susan
Sarah Sarandon.
Are you drunk?
The hell?
I know it had a Sarah in it. I know that the name had a Sarah.
You tell me. I mean, in that she's definitely
Don't
not
ever
bad.
disrespect the ultimate MILF ever. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Ever.
Sorry.
Well, Lawrence, since you're all Dustin, since you're all fired up, why don't you come at us with your number 8?
Okay, so my number 8 on my list, I fucked up, but I had Waterboy on there, but I actually meant to put Happy Gilmore because I like that one better than Waterboy. But yeah, Happy
It's not
Gilmore.
too late, dude.
I fucking love Happy Gilmore.
It's definitely better than
Happy
Waterboy.
Gilmore is definitely undeniable.
Just Shooter McGavin and
The
Adam
character.
Sandler, just the characters.
What more could be said on that one?
He's a hockey player that took his skate off and tried to slit someone's throat with it. I can relate.
My wife actually just recently saw Happy Gilmore. She said she'd only ever seen just the occasional scene from it before, and she loved it. So
when he fights Bob Barker.
All right, so my number 7 is a movie that I've probably seen maybe more than any other movie on my entire list, other than possibly my number 1, and that is The Sandlot.
That's on mine too.
I absolutely love The Sandlot, man. That movie is baseball to me.
It really is.
The story of the babe and just the kids playing. It's just great.
I'm starting to realize the list I looked at to make my list up was shit because it didn't have that on it. It didn't have Kingpin. What the hell?
I did multiple lists. That's why, because I was like, well, this can't be all of them. There was a Rotten Tomatoes one that had 150 on them. That was the one that I mainly used.
But yeah, The Sandlot. Sandlot is my number 7.
I like it.
Cool.
Guess it's my turn again. 7 for me. This isn't Disney this time, but I think it is Warner Brothers. Space Jam. It has to be on any list if you were a kid at this time. Again, it's another one of the ones I watched. Michael Jordan was like the biggest thing in sports at the time, so anything with him in it, you were kind of crazy about. I loved the Bulls back then. There's nothing more that could be said. If you hadn't seen Space Jam, I don't know what's wrong with you.
That was my number 7 too, motherfucker.
Oh, we're on the same page.
All right. Well, then then it's up to you, Corey.
Nice, Cornelius.
Mine's been mentioned. I think someone's honorable mentions, but my number 7 is Cool Runnings.
Ah, nice.
It's a movie I fell in love with. I think this is another one, Greg, that me and you watched probably about the same time as well. Yeah. In the VHS days, but yeah, was it Lawrence? Is it you have this on there?
Yeah, that's why I don't know.
Yeah, I had it too.
Yeah,
it was. I'm glad it made somebody's top 10.
It's just all the characters, and you can't not love John Candy. So
yeah, absolutely,
just an awesome movie. So.
Well, since we already know Dustin's number 7 is the same as Lawrence's, I guess it comes back to me already. My number 6 is a movie that I didn't see until later after it came out, but once I saw it, I just fell in love with it, and that is $1 Million Baby.
That's a good choice.
That's a good one.
I mean, that movie is such a fucking harsh story, man. Like it's almost painful to watch because of just how it goes down, and she was, finally reached that point where she was on top of the world, and then it's just fucking all taken away from her. And
that's a tough scene to watch, honestly.
It is. But yeah, I love that movie, man. It's I couldn't leave it off my list.
Yeah. No, it's a great choice.
Lawrence, what do you got for your number 6?
Well, my number 6 was talked about earlier. I just got Happy Gilmore. Really just a perfect comedy. Everyone in there is a character. You like them. Even people that aren't important, like the guy that kind of harasses him at the one game against Parker. The club went farther than the ball. That guy. And the guy who's always frowning when he's doing something wrong. Like, who would think to put that in a movie? Some guy just standing there shaking his head no, it's funny. And that movie is just perfect. I don't know what else to say. So that's what I got. Nothing more to be said.
Well, moron, good for Happy Gil. Oh my God!
Yeah, see, even the giant dude, Jaws. He's in the fucking movie.
Corey, what do you got for your number 6?
So number 6 is kind of another series like some of you guys have done. Take your pick on what movie, but I chose the first one, and it is the Rocky series.
You said the series.
But I'm going with the first one. It's the Oscar winner. Probably film-wise overall the best, in my opinion. And, man, they just, other than maybe Rocky 5, you could argue that one. Even include the Creed movies, they just rarely strike out with these movies. They're always really good. So
Yeah, they're always hits.
Corey, why was 5 so bad? Everyone hates that movie.
I don't know. It just wasn't. It didn't have. It was missing something that the others had. I don't know, some kind of charm, I guess. But
Was that you, Corey, who told me that originally the ending for Rocky V, they were going to like have Rocky die?
I don't think I told you that, but
I remember I heard it somewhere, and I read up on it, and
I
can't remember if it was true or not.
What's funny about that series when they came out with Rocky Balboa, when he had the fight with Mason Dixon based on the video game, I was like, God, that's a stupid ass idea for a movie. Even that movie's fucking great though.
It is. I saw it in theaters.
So it's hard to miss with that series. So.
All right, Dustin, what do you got for your number 6?
For my number 6, I got The Wrestler.
Very good choice,
Very good
man.
choice.
I highly
I
approve
thought
of
about
that.
that for my list, but
Yeah, I did too. But
Mickey Rourke, who's one of my favorite actors, it's classic.
what I love about that movie is if you introduce it to someone who is that typical, wrestling's just fake, it's just, it's stupid and all that. Have them watch that movie, man. That shows the struggle that they really go through. It's not just the pain that you get from the ring, but also fighting addiction and things of that nature. So, I mean, it really tells the story of what wrestling is behind the scenes and not just the show that you get.
Supposedly, Roddy Piper broke down crying when he saw it. I remember I heard something.
Well, actually, I think they said a lot of people consider The Wrestler basically the story of Jake the Snake.
It's similar.
Yeah. It's super good. But
fantastic choice, Dustin.
Yeah.
That's my number 6.
My number 5 is a movie that I also watch every time I catch it on. I just love it, man. It's another one that's got all the characters. It is Days of Thunder.
Oh, shit.
Oh, man, that wasn't on any sports movie list. But that is a good one.
I love it, man.
I forgot about it, but yeah.
The characters are great. Even if you're not a fan of NASCAR, you can like that movie. It makes you want to watch NASCAR.
There's a movie that brings people to NASCAR. That was.
Oh yeah, Days of Thunder, man. It's just so good. I love everything about it.
Greg, wasn't it essentially Top Gun just with cars instead of planes?
I guess. I mean, I don't know, but whatever it is,
broke, don't fix it. All right.
Exactly. There you go.
All right.
But yeah.
Did that other Top Gun movie ever come out?
No, COVID did.
Yes, later this year, I think.
Yeah. COVID came out and said no. They robbed us of that one.
They robbed us of a lot of stuff.
I said this on Jay's or Hayden's stream the other night or something. You know what I'm most excited about for that new Top Gun? Is to see if Val Kilmer can fit his fat ass into a plane. That's what I'm.
He can't talk anymore, man.
It says he's supposed to be. I guess they shot it when he could talk. I don't know.
Yeah, he lost his voice.
Did he have a stroke or something?
He had all of it. He had stroke, cancer. He had throat cancer.
Jesus.
He was like dying. He was in bad shape, man.
Damn.
I was sad about that. But I guess it's my turn, Greg. Or are you still?
Oh no, go ahead, man. I've said what I need to say about that.
All right, my number 5, and I'm surprised I didn't hear this on anyone's list, but Friday Night Lights, not the TV series, but the movie with Billy Bob Thornton. That movie is one of my favorite football sports movies, period. It's just so accurate to small town high school football. Like, everyone in the town has like a ring and has, it's focused on this religiously. And Boobie Miles losing his career, getting his leg blown out. If you hadn't seen it, sorry spoiling, but it's just so how much just riding on these people to try to get out of this town through sports, and I just love it. It's so raw and authentic to me. I don't know.
No, that's a good one, Lawrence. That was another one that I left off the list, but it's a good one.
That's one I've only seen one time. I need to watch it again.
Yeah, I've only ever seen it one time too. I did see it on almost every list I looked at, so it might be one I revisit.
Yeah.
All right.
Number 5, right?
Yeah, number 5.
I don't have a copy of this to show, which is shocking. I need to grab a copy of it. But you said it before. Major League
Yes.
is just that's probably my favorite comedy when it comes. Or I guess maybe not my favorite comedy when it comes to sports, but baseball for sure. I love all the characters on the team.
Well,
and
well, the thing with
great.
Major League also is like, even though it is a comedy movie about baseball, you still care about the story.
You do, yeah.
Yeah.
So I
it's
mean,
a
that's
good
what makes
story.
it so good.
Yeah. I love that underdog story in anything really, that works so well for sports. So
That's the only shining moment the Twins have ever had is the Major League movies.
only problem with that is it's the Indians, not the Twins.
Oh yeah, that's right. Fuck the Indians. Which one am I thinking of with the Twins?
Rookie of the year.
Little
Oh,
Big
Yeah.
League.
Yeah,
Little Big League,
That's
that's it,
what
that's
it is.
it.
Oh yeah, little big leagues.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, Rookie of the Year is a good one too.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that
That-
one almost made my list because I used to watch that movie on
Yeah,
repeat
it's-
too when I was a kid.
Me and Corey watched that movie a lot.
I saw that shit in the theater. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
me too. We're fucking old.
I'm so fucking old. I drove to the theater to watch that.
Oh yeah. my mom.
Garden Hoser, you're going in.
Okay, so number 5.
Yes.
It's been mentioned, but Remember the Titans. And then
Can't argue with that.
when that movie came out was the one year that our high school football team was any good, and we were all about that damn movie. So number
We
5.
are the Pirates.
Yeah, you
I
probably
remember.
because Matt was on.
I
that
remember.
Team. Yeah.
Yep.
Did y'all do the dance too? The little.
Oh yeah, they came out, did the dance, all that shit.
All right, so moving on to number 4. My number 4 was originally my number 2. And Lawrence, I don't give a shit what you say. This movie belongs in a top 10 list.
Let me
My number
see it.
4 is Rudy.
No, I like Rudy.
It was an honorable mention for you.
It was, but that's only because it would have been in my list. But
No,
because
I love Rudy, man.
yeah,
Of
Rudy is
course.
good.
I left it off, but I kind of agree with Corey on like that. It's just kind of slow, man. And so, I mean, I love that movie, but it's just, I don't know.
This is the one
Couldn't
thing
put it
I
in my
have
top
to.
10.
This is the one thing I got to say though. So let me get this straight. He was a C student who wanted to go to Notre Dame. It's like me trying to go to Harvard with D's. Like you just got to kind of accept that you're not going to get accepted. You don't have the grades, man. I don't know why he felt he is entitled to go here, but I don't know.
It's
Well,
just
I don't know that it was a thing of entitlement as much as he had to fight and scratch and claw the whole way, man. There was no entitlement whatsoever.
I wanted to go to Harvard, man. That's all I got to say.
I guess you didn't apply yourself as hard as Rudy, did you?
Damn
I
right.
guess
you
I
did.
didn't, man.
Because it is a true story. So
Absolutely.
That is a
Rudy-
good point, though, Lawrence.
Rudy is still alive.
Lawrence, what do you got?
Oh, my thing. Sorry, guys. 4 was Sandlot. Y'all mentioned it before, but I watched this movie more than the other ones on the list. Benny the Jet Rodriguez,
Benny the
Smalls.
Jet Rodriguez.
Yeah, you know all those names, man. Porter, the fat, funny pitcher. Why did all the pitchers and goalies have to be not pitchers? The catchers
And don't
and
forget
goalies
about Hercules.
had to be fat. I don't understand that. It was like there was some requirement that they had to be fat, but it's just great, man. Babe Ruth. I knew nothing of baseball going in, but it's like you said, Greg. This is like the best baseball anything for me. So,
It's hard to top. It really is.
that's what I got, guys.
Cool. All right, my number 4. I feel like got some hate earlier in this top 10, but
Uh-oh.
Fast and Furious.
yeah. I got too fast, too furious. No.
Oh no.
No, my number 4 is Field of Dreams. I just feel like this movie is like the perfect like love letter to like the history of baseball, and it builds to that like emotional ending where he's having the catch with his dad.
Exactly what he always wanted, man. He just wanted to play catch with his dad.
I just love this movie. It's way up there. So
I
my
can
number
tell you,
4.
even though it only made my honorable mentions, I wouldn't hate on anyone who had Field of Dreams as their number one.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's how can you argue against it?
I need to rewatch it.
I'll say that's my number 4, but my number 4 are real close. Like they're really tight together. So,
Dustin, I'm eager. I have to hear it. What is your number 4?
Well, y'all kind of spoiled it before, but my number 4 is Blue Chips.
Nice. Up to number 4 on yours.
Another
That's
Blue
what I'm
Chips.
talking about.
That is
I'm the one who
one of
hasn't
my
seen it.
all-time favorite movies. Like
It's
like
good.
Corey said, my top 4 are very, very, very close, and that is because Shaq was my favorite basketball player at the time, and he was in that movie. My dad rented the movie from Blockbuster, and I fell in love with it. It was, I love basketball, and so that was just number 4. Fucking Blue Chips. I was sad that it was in y'all's honorable mentions, but I didn't want to ruin my list. So.
Nice.
it was our 10.
Oh yeah, it was your 10. But yeah, Blue Chips is great, man.
Yeah, I love it.
I need to watch that.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Yeah, you definitely do.
Too many people have said something about it, man.
Like
You'll fall in love with it.
Who would think that Penny Hardaway and Shaq would do such a great job?
I mean, their job was to just mostly play basketball. So.
I know. But
It's not hard to act and do something.
what was
anyway.
Shaq's name in the movie? And he was like,
Neon Bodo or something like that.
Yeah.
and he just played in this sweaty ass gym in Louisiana somewhere.
And the thing with Shaq too is he was even charming in the scenes where like she had to teach him how to pass that test. But was it that he didn't know how to read? Was that what was going on? I couldn't remember.
Oh, because he's dumb in real life.
He's not.
It was
dumb.
something along. I remember she had to teach him like he wasn't.
Don't you blaspheme Shaq, Lawrence?
Yeah.
He
Fast and Furious.
He
ass.
isn't that dumb in real life. The motherfucker's selling printers now. Like he sells everything. Pretty damn smart in my opinion.
Yeah, and I saw him on the poster of a fucking Papa John's.
I did too.
I think he owns Papa John's. Now,
He's on like the board of directors of Papa John's now.
Yeah, he's like
They said get
how
this
dare
racist
you
motherfucker
downplay
out of here
Shaq.
and bring him back.
Don't you ever?
No,
Ever.
people wanted him to be that lovable goof. Yeah, he was typecast as that. My bad,
Actually,
guys.
you know what? I have something pretty.
Oh
cool.
God, please no.
Your Happy Trail showing, man.
Oh, my bad. So check this shit out.
What's he got?
His name was Neon Bordeaux. I forgot. I'm doing some consignment for my buddy's
Oh,
cards.
nice. That's
He has
awesome.
2 Blue Chips cards.
That's
My
sweet.
favorite part is
Which
the
I
laugh.
didn't know they have blue chips cards.
Me neither.
I-
That
me
kind of
neither.
makes me want them.
So I don't know. I haven't looked up the value of them yet. Probably not much, but
Well, excellent
fucking
choice.
cool.
Excellent choice for your number 4.
Blue Chips. I love that fucking movie.
My number 3 is a movie that I absolutely love, and I think probably everyone has seen this movie, but it really hits home for me, and it is A League of Their Own.
Nice. I was wondering when it would come up.
That movie is damn near perfect, man. It's so good.
That was the hardest movie to leave off my list. Like, because I should have put that in honorable mentions, honestly. 'cause-
Little trivia about that movie. A good part of that movie was shot in Greg and I's hometown. So
Yes, and that's what I
Indiana.
meant. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It kind of hits it home for me. So, yeah, apparently Madonna wasn't too crazy about Evansville.
no,
But I'll tell you what, that's a great story, man. How like the guys were all gone in World War II. So who's going to bring sports to everyone? So they
And
women.
I'm pretty sure to this day it has the longest piss on film.
What?
all right.
Okay.
Yeah, when Tom
Right.
Hanks comes in, takes that piss in the girls' locker room there when he first becomes a coach.
Yeah. Tom Hanks, Rosie O'Donnell, Madonna. That's a good cast, man.
Gina Davis, yeah,
Gina
all-star
Davis
cast.
back then, yeah.
Dottie Henson.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my number 3 though.
There's
That's a
no
good one,
crying
right?
in baseball. Yeah.
So Lawrence, can you top that?
I think I can. My number 3 was Rocky 1. It's only because he doesn't win in the end. he's not a superhero yet. They haven't turned him into one like some comic book type hero. He's just a regular down and out guy in Philly, and it's just a great movie. I watch it every Thanksgiving around November. It's just a holiday movie for me, man. I got to see it. 1 and 2. Everyone else can go home, but 1 and 2 are the best ones to me. That's what I got.
Good choice. Good choice. I don't know if you topped me, but you definitely at least met me on equal playing grounds.
Right.
So Corey, what do you have for your number?
Number
3.
I almost blew it talking about Major League, but my number 3 is my top comedy on the list. It's Caddyshack.
Someone finally put Caddyshack in their list. You know, it was actually in my honorable mentions, but I just took it out the other day. I actually replaced it with Hoosiers.
I just love that movie. I watch it every time it's on. I always hear the stories about him being a dick and how Bill Murray hated him, but like I love Chevy Chase in it, and it's just great.
Wait, Bill Murray hated Chevy Chase?
Yeah, bad.
Well, I think most people hated Chevy Chase back then.
That's true. He really hated him, though.
There's a lot of fucking stories about that guy.
And Ted Knight, this guy here, is great in this movie too. So, Rodney Dangerfield, of course, he's fucking hilarious too. So, it's a great movie.
All right.
But hold on, Corey. Is it better than Happy Gilmore? Like, if you had to rank the two?
I think so, by far. But that's just me.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah, if you, it's another one that like, it's not as appreciated today as it was.
Yeah.
In more our era. So it's, I guess it kind of depends on when you were born and such like that, what your age is, on how much you can enjoy that movie, because it is great, man.
And also to go along with that, never watch Caddyshack 2.
Okay.
Horrible.
Dustin, moving on to you.
All right. Well, my number 3 has been mentioned a bunch of times, but Major League is my number 3.
Good. Nice.
Fucking love that movie. Charlie Sheen, Wild Thing.
So do you like the first one better than the second one?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the first one is definitely the best one, but 2 is really close. Like,
so
as
what I
far
gotta
as
ask
sequels
you
go, that's definitely like as close as you can get to being as good as the first one.
Like a big debate I see whenever I read about that movie online is that people say, some people think that Omar Epps was a better Willie Mays Hayes. Or what was his name? Was that his name?
Yeah, Willie Mays Hayes. Yep.
I don't know. I thought of the ShamWow guy. I thought I was actually saying him. I think they have the same name, but yeah, some people said that they liked Omar Epps better. I thought Wesley Snipes was the better Willie Mays, but I guess both of them were pretty good. But
yeah, I mean, it didn't really make a difference for me. Both the movies are good in their own way. So, but I like Corey. I like 3 too. So I like them all. I had at one point I owned all 3 of them. So
as a matter of fact, I'm gonna watch the Major League movie sometime soon. It's been too long.
Yeah, Jamie's list is pretty good too.
I used to own it. I probably don't have it anymore since I moved.
Let's throw Jamie's list up here real quick. This is what she's got here. So, Breaking Away at number 10. I can't say that I've seen that.
Breaking Away is a great movie. It's about there's a bicycle race at Indiana University each year called the Little 500, and it's kind of based around that and around the kids that live in Indiana, in Bloomington. They're called Townies. It's a great movie if you haven't seen it.
I want to thank. Go ahead.
Varsity Blues.
That's what I was going to say. Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues is a great movie. Actually, whenever you was talking about Friday Night Lights, Lawrence, I wanted to chime in and say something about Varsity Blues because it's
like
really
the
good. Also,
realistic versions.
My girlfriend was mad I left that off the list. She was like, "How could you leave that off the list?" I'm like, "That's good, but it's not."
Excellent list, though, Jamie. Appreciate you sharing that.
It's a tough list to make, man.
It is. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be.
Super hard.
Yeah.
But so my number 2 is the only one that I actually own on Blu-ray, and I have said it many times that it is
Fast and Furious.
Yes, you got it.
That was a secret.
It is my favorite football movie, and it is Oliver Stone's.
Any given Sunday.
Oh, dude,
You just
know
bought
what?
that the other day, fucker.
Yes, I did. That's the reason I said it's the only one that I own on anything. Like, and he does. So.
Wait, you bought a movie?
Corey's got me back into buying movies, man. It's his fault. I got 5 of them sitting on my desk here that
Dude,
I
I
probably all bought
just
within the
forgot
last
to
week.
put that on my list because I had it on my earlier list, and then when I made my final list, I left it off. But
By
yeah,
the way,
that's
Greg,
good.
are you going to do a little show and tell after the countdown here?
Yes, I do plan to do that actually.
Cool.
Yeah, Any Given Sunday, man. I don't know, man. There's just something about that movie. Like it. First off, the soundtrack to it is amazing. The way the soundtrack to it's awesome. That definitely plays into it. But like Al Pacino was the coach, that's accused of being that washed up coach, and they're trying to get rid of him. And it was like any of the other sports movies, man. It just had the characters. LL Cool J was great. Bill Bellamy was great as the wide receiver. I can't remember his name at the moment, but and of course Jamie Foxx is the quarterback trying to replace, Willie Beeman trying to replace Dennis Quaid. It was just, I just love everything about it, man. That movie just does it for me. I watch it like at least once a year.
Have you watched Ballers? Didn't you start watching Ballers, Greg?
I did, but I kind of stopped.
Hey, Greg, what's the one problem I had with Any Given Sunday? You remember? That I kept bringing up.
Your biggest problem with Any Given Sunday, and I don't know why you think this is a bad movie because of this, but is the scene to where like they tackle the guy and his eyeball pops out.
I just felt it was over the top. I'm like, that's never happened in that sport. Why are you doing this? It doesn't even make sense because the helmets would protect you from that. And
it's a movie, man.
Well, in the Last Boy Scout, the running back has a gun and starts shooting people down the field. That's never happened, but it's still a great movie.
I forgot about that.
I gotta YouTube that. That just sounds great.
But yeah, Any Given Sunday is my number 2.
All right, my number 2 was mentioned already. Karate Kid 1. This is going to be my number 1, but then I remembered my number 1, so it wasn't there. But Mr. Miyagi and Daniel have like the best relationship between two guys that aren't like lovers. I mean, it's just the chemistry between them.
I wish you hadn't put it like that.
Because it's like who can you think of? Two guys that just go back and forth with each other. Like no other actors could have taken their roles. Period. Yeah, Jamie agrees with me on that eyeball, by the way, so I'm not alone. But that's my number 2. So,
Corey, what do you got for your number 2?
All right. Well, this is probably my biggest shocker on the list. So,
man.
So I saw this movie in the theater and absolutely loved it. And like it's grown and grown and grown every time I watched it. And it's probably the newest movie on my list, I would think. But it's Moneyball. Brad Pitt.
Oh,
that's
man,
a good
that
one.
was a good one. That was another one that I just couldn't put on the list, but
I don't think
it's
I've actually
definitely-
seen that.
Oh, it's good, man.
It's awesome. So,
It's really good.
I
There's
may
not
have
even
seen
that
it
much
and just don't
baseball in
remember it.
But there's a lot of like just the movie in general. is good.
it's more based on the business of baseball.
Yeah.
And
And
how
the
like
analytics and all that.
so if you haven't seen it, Brad Pitt plays Billy Bean. He's the GM of the Oakland A's, and it's kind of how he has to build that team with a very small budget, being in a small market. So, but it's almost like it's so dramatic at times. Like it's tense. It's got a lot of it's got everything in it. So I love that movie.
Yeah, that's great.
still
Philip Seymour
definitely-
Hoffman's in it,
It
too.
definitely
Yeah.
still qualifies, more so than the Fast and the Furious. So, Dustin, what do you come up with for your number 2?
All right, so my number 1 and 2 are really hard to pick between number 1 and 2 because they're probably more 1A and 1B. But my number 2 is The Sandlot, which a bunch of people already brought up. But I mean, I can't say anything else that anyone else has said. But yeah,
It's a good choice, man.
And I've watched that movie 150 million times. If it comes on TV, I watch it. I say the sayings all the time. It's just...
Well, and the thing about The Sandlot, too, is like, even as you start to get older, its charm never goes away.
Yeah.
Because you love it when you're young, and even when you start getting older, it's like it's still a great movie. Like it never, it's timeless. I mean,
and like I've made my daughter watch it, and I'll make my son watch it. It's just one of those movies that it's timeless.
Dude, it's great. Because Sandlot was like, it has all of the elements of like a coming of age story. The baseball's kind of second to it, but like, kissing the lifeguard, who hasn't dreamed of that? And then, conquering the beast. It's all these different things.
And I don't know about the rest of y'all, but I used to play pickup baseball all the time. Like between like 9 and 12 years old, I was always playing pickup baseball, which is like when Sandlot came out. So it just has a lot of meaning to me. So
let me ask you guys this, because I always feel this way. You've probably seen, like, over the past few years, they'll do like all those kids from the Sandlot get back together, for like a picture or whatever.
Yeah.
I hate seeing them do that, because I want to just remember those kids as kids.
Yeah.
And not
Right.
as adults.
The guy that plays the catcher, Patrick McKenna, he has a TikTok, and it's so weird to see him on TikTok. It's like, dude, that's the kid from the Sandlot, and he looks almost exactly the same.
Yeah, it's weird, man. And he was
ago.
He was in Big Green too as the goalie. So
yeah, he was like a child actor back then. He was in a bunch of movies. That's a good one too, though, Lawrence.
All right, so I do want to say that before I say my number one here, that originally I had Rudy as my number 2 and Any Given Sunday as my number 4, but I changed that like last minute.
So
because I just really love Any Given Sunday, but my number 1 has been mentioned before on the podcast, but not as much love as the others. My number 1 is Rocky 3.
I knew it.
What?
I fucking knew it.
What? Why?
It was originally Rocky 1, but then I started thinking about it. I was like, is Rocky 1 really my favorite Rocky movie?
Rocky 3 is the one with Mr. T?
Yes, and it's not. The one that I enjoy watching the most is Rocky 3. Mr. T is the perfect villain. You cannot find a better villain in a movie than Mr. T. Plus, then, like Apollo has to train Rocky. He has to, and plus it's the only movie that you see Rocky get his ass kicked in. I mean, he gets beat. Like Clubber Lang beats the shit out of him and takes his title. And Rocky like goes into the depression, man. And like that's also the movie that Mickey dies in. So
yeah, it is.
I mean, everything
and Hulk Hogan.
Everything bad that could happen to Rocky happens in that movie, and it's just, I almost feel like it's more of a comeback story than any of the other Rockies, because he couldn't have been lower at any point in his career than he was then. And it's just, I just can't. It gives me chills even talking about Rocky 3. If that says anything, that's how much I love that movie.
You remember what Mr. T told Rocky's wife? He says, "Hey, woman, why don't you bring your fine self to my apartment?"
That's what I mean, man. He was the best villain.
What's cool about those Rocky movies is like Rocky's almost a different character in every movie.
Yeah.
Like he's going through different shit in every movie, and he's like, it affects him in different ways.
And the line my favorite line from Rocky 3 is whenever the media comes up to Clubber Lang and they're talking to him about, they're like, do you hate Balboa? He's like, no, I don't hate Balboa. I'm beautiful.
He was scary, man, but he was a great.
He was, dude. Like, he scared the shit out of me, man. That's the reason even more so than Ivan Drago. So, but yeah, Rocky 3 is my number 1.
Interesting. I wouldn't have seen that coming.
I knew it was going to be Rocky or Rudy, or Any Given.
I thought
Sunday.
Any Given Sunday would have been his number 1, but
as much as I love Any Given
Sunday,
there is no movie that I will fucking glue myself to the TV for more than a Rocky movie. The only thing that even comes close is Karate Kid.
Well, I called the Rocky movies cheesy one time, and Greg wanted to fight me. So
I
figured
really did.
I figured that was probably going to be.
I forgot all about that.
Remember
Yeah,
that shit?
I was so fucking
I was
pissed.
telling Tina that story tonight before we started podcasting.
Oh man, I was so
explain to
pissed.
you how the movies they're cheesy now. They weren't cheesy then, but they're cheesy now because they're 80s cheesy.
I just wasn't gonna have you bad mouthing Rocky, man.
Yeah, you were pissed, bro. You wanted
Rocky was like a real guy. You know what I mean?
Feel like he's
Talk
like
about
my
Rocky.
brother, man. I grew up with him.
He's like my brother. All right, so I guess it's my turn, huh, Greg?
Yeah.
I'm a little long-winded on this one. My number one is also my favorite film of all time, and that is Raging Bull.
I knew it.
Blu-ray
I
copy.
absolutely knew it.
And this is one of the best performances from any actor. And I just love it because to describe the plot is kind of stupid. It's just about boxer Jake LaMotta. I know, if you know nothing about Jake LaMotta or 1940s boxing, it doesn't matter because everything you need to know about him is through De Niro's performance. And if you know the real story of LaMotta, it's even more heartrending. He was pretty much made to box even as a kid. His dad would make him go out and fight the neighborhood kids for like pennies and shit, the way a guy fights dogs or, he does rooster fighting. But in the film, what's great about it is that there's no talk about fight strategies. There's none of the training scenes you see in the boxing movies like Rocky and stuff like that, because the way the film is, what happens in his life outside the ring dictates what would happen inside the ring. So if his life's bad, if he's going through something bad outside, in the ring, he'll lose a fight. But if it's going good, and the way the Scorsese does it, it's just really heartrending. It's a great film. Greg, you've seen it, haven't you?
I have, and I agree with you that it is an amazing movie, absolutely amazing. And I'm with you. You have to see the black and white version. Don't watch anything but
it's just the black and white.
I thought they had what do they call it when they take
white.
those movies and put color to them? It's great, man. I love it.
And he actually gained 60 pounds because he goes from a sleek boxer when he's young and he's fat when he's past his prime in the later years.
You know what I think keeps me from putting that in my top 10 list though? It should probably should. I actually did have that in my honorable mentions. I took it out for something else. I can't remember what, but is that Jake LaMotta was a piece of shit, man. He's just a terrible person.
That's the point, though, is that. But then, whenever he's in jail and he's, he finally breaks down, he's in a cell. That was the moment he realized that he was bad. You're right, but the reason why he never got knocked out in the ring was because he was guilty. He wanted to be punished for himself because that was his way of atoning for his sins per se. That's why he never got knocked out. He let himself get beat because of who he was. He's a monster, but he doesn't want to be. He's guilty.
Is that your favorite De Niro performance ever?
It's performance, period, man. It's that good.
Interesting. So me and Lawrence both have boxing movies as our number one. So
Greg also would have had that movie in his top 10 if it had Mr. T in it. So
yes, it would have.
That's the only thing missing. It's Mr. T.
So Corey, are you going to continue the trend and have a boxing movie as your top 10 or top number one? So
no, I will not. So my number one will never be topped. I can't imagine till the day I die. And I appreciate the fact that it may not mean as much to other people depending on where they live. But my number one's Hoosiers. It's that movie just speaks to me as a Hoosier myself.
There's just it because it's in Indiana.
No, that story is legendary status in the state. The Milan Indians was the real team, and that story and their star player was Bobby Plump, who's still alive from that '54 team. It's I don't know. It's just the feel of that movie is perfect. It feels like home to me, if that makes any sense. There's a scene where Gene Hackman's out on this farm and he's kind of helping the principal of the school on his farm, and you just see the cornfield in the background, and it's I could be at my friend's house out in the country just looking at that scene.
Me being a Hoosier myself, Corey, I completely feel you on that. And that's like, as I was watching that movie, since I've only just seen it recently, it made me miss home, man. Like when I watched that movie, I was like, man, I just miss Indiana. And, just going back there recently made me realize even more how much I miss it. But like, we both of us grew up in a small town. Mount Vernon is not a big town. I think my graduating class was maybe 200, if even.
Right.
So, I mean, it's something about, like, if you grow up in that type of rural environment that a movie like that hits home with you on.
What's cool about that movie to me too is I've been covering sports for the newspaper for several years now, and while Hickory, the school in the movie, is a fictional school, they still play real teams, real town teams in that movie, which I've actually covered games of those teams.
Yeah, like
I've been to those teams' gyms and stuff. So,
and that's what did it for me. Like when I seen that they were like playing Jasper and such like that, I'm like, man, I was like, I know this. So like,
that's crazy.
So I appreciate the fact that it may not mean as much to people outside of the state. However, I feel it's one of the best sports movies of all time. So
it'll definitely climb on my list as I watch it more and more, because I definitely don't intend it to be a one-time watch for me.
Yeah,
it's definitely going to be a one that I continue to watch. So,
and that I said my top 4 were really close. That one's pretty far from the pack, honestly. So.
I'm looking at the comments right now. Jamie said she went to a class with only 60 people. So were you from Indiana too, or what's going on with
Well, I mean, Indiana isn't the only state with small towns.
I'm just messing around.
There was only like 140 people in my graduating class. So,
yeah.
Where'd you go, Dustin? Harrison Central or?
Pass Christian.
Oh, Pass Christian. Gotcha.
I feel like, and obviously I just feel like Midwest towns feel small even if they aren't that small.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but
because even Evansville feels that way. Like even though Evansville is not small by any means, it's actually probably the size. You've been here on the Gulf Coast, Corey. So Evansville's probably the size of like probably going from at least where I live here in Pass Christian to probably
not Christian,
whatever, to probably Biloxi or D'Iberville.
Yeah.
Easily. So I mean, like, that's across 3-4 cities is where Evansville is just like, it feels smaller, but it's still big.
That's how it is down here.
Northwest, east, and south side.
It's every town, every city is really a small town. Biloxi, D'Iberville, Gulfport, everybody's all small towny. High school, football, basketball.
It's weird because like even when I went back just recently, just like driving down those roads and just seeing like the bean and the cornfields, it makes me feel a certain way, man. It's like I've lived here in Mississippi about the same amount of time I lived in Indiana now, but Indiana is still my home. Like this still does not feel like my home here. My home is in Indiana. So.
Because when you do, I feel that way sometimes when I drive, like when I have to go to like Long Beach where my parents live and stuff, and past Christian where I drove around. That's where all you have your best memories, man.
Yeah,
of your youth. So I think that's what it just brings back those good times, man.
So Lawrence, Dustin. We're finally to you. What is your number one?
My number one is the Mighty Ducks.
And you know what? That is shocking to me because whenever we mentioned it in like our honorable mentions,
you looked uninterested.
List, you were like, "What? What is it doing?"
I was trying. I didn't want to spoil my list because y'all were spoiling my list the whole fucking time.
Achievement unlocked, sir, because I did not expect it.
I was trying to keep my poker face, but yeah, Mighty Ducks, man. I watched Mighty Ducks and I fell in love with the game of hockey. I went and bought hockey gear. I played street hockey. I learned how to play the game. My dad was a big hockey player, so he taught me how to he was a goalie, so he taught me how to play goalie. I love the Mighty Ducks, and I like all the movies. 3 is probably my least favorite, but 1 and 2 are definitely awesome.
So would you agree that after 3 is when they start falling off, like I was mentioning earlier?
Yeah, like I said, they're just kind of like made for TV stuff. But I am gonna check out this new series on Disney Plus and see if it's any good, since it has some of the original cast in it.
Was it 2 was the one where they bring in everyone, like all these different characters, like the cowboy dude.
2 is like the Bash Brothers and
the Bash Brothers.
They have to play Iceland.
Yeah, that was
Iceland was such badasses.
And my best friend, his name was Jordan. He was like, I'm from my family's from Iceland. And I'm like, whatever, dude, you're a liar. you know how 9-10-year-olds lie all the time.
Right.
I don't know, man. With hair like that, I think you might be from Iceland.
No, my shit's brown, bro. It's not blonde.
It's not blonde.
I don't think it's brown anymore, but.
Yeah, you want to hear a shocker? I have never seen one Mighty Duck movie.
No, man. You know the mask, the duck mask with the holes in it?
Yeah.
That's from them. That's
Corey. How have you, of all people, not seen one Mighty Ducks movie?
I don't know if it was maybe my age. Maybe I was too old to really get into it at the time.
He just hates Emilio Estevez.
No, I won't say that. And hockey too was like not an interest to me. I appreciate the fact that movie probably grew the hockey fan base in the country to some degree.
Right.
It made me fall in love with hockey, and then when my dad found out that I had an interest in hockey, it was kind of like,
yeah.
So I was really into hockey for a while after Mighty Ducks.
So an interesting little story in regards to the Mighty Ducks is like when Anaheim changed their logo, I was fucking pissed, man.
Because they just became the Ducks.
Yeah, because they used to be the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, and they had the Mighty
Ducks. They were owned by Disney.
Yeah, I was like, man, I loved it, and then they fucking changed it. Now they got this new symbol. It makes me not even want to root for them, man. I'm like, man, fuck y'all.
Yeah, you gotta
whenever I play, if I play NHL or something, and I play the Mighty Ducks, I always change their jersey to the old school.
As you should.
Mighty Ducks jerseys every time.
What do they look like?
They look like the fucking Mighty Ducks jerseys from the movie.
Fucking
Mr. Fast and Furious.
Yeah. Y'all aren't gonna let me live that down.
Everyone's talking shit about me being drunk. What the fuck's wrong with you over there, Lawrence?
So just to revisit our number ones, I had Rocky 3. Lawrence, you had Raging Bull.
Correct.
Corey, yours was Hoosiers. And Dustin, yours was Mighty Ducks 1, or was it just...
I mean, I like all of them, but yeah, one is definitely the first. So yeah, Mighty Ducks 1.
So was there anything on anyone's list other than Lawrence choosing Fast and Furious that kind of shocked anyone?
No.
One did for me, Greg. You choosing League of Their Own. I didn't see that coming from you. But that's
actually, you want to know something, Greg? Let me be honest real quick for a second. I actually didn't put League of Their Own on my list because I thought that I might get some shit from you. So I thought maybe you didn't like that movie. So
wow, really?
Look what Jamie said in the comments.
I mean, did y'all know the history of the movie? Why would you think that I wouldn't like it, considering, a majority of it was filmed in my home state, home area?
Greg, I'm not going to lie. I thought you hated women.
About that.
I'm freaking married with a child.
That doesn't mean anything. So was Jake LaMotta. He didn't stop beating up his wife.
Hey, I was married for a long time to a woman I hated, so that doesn't mean shit.
Yeah.
Look, I already did that.
Haven't we all been?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. We've all been down that road except Lawrence, because Lawrence really does hate
because
women.
Listen to
dudes. We still love you, Lawrence.
I was trying to stop him from saying that. I mean, we're supposed to reveal that this episode, but Jamie says I saw the first Mighty Ducks and I only watched that because my brothers forced me to. No, it's good.
But the question, Jamie, is did you like it?
Yes.
I'll say this: I shocked myself with my list because Moneyball, I didn't realize was going to be so high. But when I went through everything, I was like, damn, like I will watch this movie almost above all the rest if I had to choose. So
That's does it count though? Because he doesn't actually play the sport.
it's got a lot of baseball in it.
Yeah, you're right. Doesn't he go to the Red Sox though, Corey? At the end, like he gets so good, and they take his formula, and that became baseball.
They take his formula, and he interviews for that job, but he didn't take it. So he's still the GM of the Athletics to this day.
I'm gonna say that I absolutely love these lists that we're doing. So we're probably going to continue to do this until it just becomes stale or we just don't want to do it anymore. But I don't know which one I liked compiling more, the horror movie list or this one, because this, honestly, I think this one was harder for me than the horror movie one.
Well, you know what? Since there was so much bitching, I think the next one has to be documentaries.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we could do that. I don't have an issue with that. We could do the top 10 documentaries, so everyone can get all their 30 for 30s that they love so much.
I think you got to limit it to 130 for 30 since they're TV movies.
I agree. I actually agree with that. 130 for 30.
Pick your best and put it on the list.
Looking at Jamie's comment though, she liked Emilio. Who was better to you, Emilio or Charlie Sheen? Like if it came down to those two, it's like Emilio was the good kid, and Charlie fucked up everything. He gave someone AIDS and shit. He was doing coke.
Emilio is in the best movie of the two, I think.
Which one is that?
Which movie is that, Greg?
Young Guns 1 and 2.
Oh, fuck you. Get out of here.
What the fuck, Greg?
Fucking Judgment Night, man. I love that
I know.
shit.
I couldn't give it to you, man.
Young
Yes.
Guns.
I thought you were gonna say Breakfast Club.
Oh, you got one of those little
that's
names in there.
That's better than Young Guns.
But yeah, so Dustin, I don't know if you heard, but next we're going to do documentaries. That's going to be our next top 10.
I heard. I was taking one of those League of Their Own style pisses. So.
Oh, okay. Well, good for you on that. So Corey, you got me
only
back
130
into,
for 30 though. How am I supposed to pick 130 for 30?
That's all you get, man. You get
I'm
one.
gonna put the rest of them in my honorable mentions then.
My documentaries are probably going to shock a lot of y'all because I like some weird ones.
I tell you what, I'm gonna have to watch a few because I've picked up a few lately.
I will
that
too.
I haven't got to watch yet, but I hear are real good. So
Yeah, I'll probably end up doing the same. Like, I'll definitely have to do what I did for the sports list and go, because some I know I've seen that I forgot, and I'll have to go and do that. The best document. What are the best documentaries list and pick from that.
pull up Jamie's last comment there.
She says Emilio is my hype. Charlie is cute, but I'd pick Emilio first. Me
Good
too.
choice.
Nice.
Good choice, Jamie. Charlie has AIDS.
Charlie does have AIDS. That's fucking crazy.
It's fine. You can survive AIDS now with no issue.
But he was
Look at
giving it
Matt
to people. That's like
you
the big
you
thing.
still don't want it.
Yeah. And he was knowingly like having sex with people and not letting them know that. Like he didn't care. He was a real piece of work.
But yeah, what I was saying is that Corey has got me into collecting movies again. So you've created a monster. Thanks for that. Now I'm gonna spend like every extra dollar on buying movies again. But I did pick up some gems. I got this one from Dollar General. Got I hope you see it with the lights off. Dreamcatcher. I think I paid like $5 for that one. I also got this one at Dollar General. I had to pick it up. It's a double feature, but also got American History X.
Oh, that's a good one.
I'd love to find that. Here's a little hot take too. I fucking hate Edward Norton, so I refuse to watch American History X again. But like
What?
History of Violence, I love that movie.
Do you hate him because he's a douchebag or just?
I
In
don't
real
know.
life, I heard
There's just
Hey, what's up,
something
Jay?
I hate about that dude. So
And the final one I got was one that I think someone mentioned, and like I looked it up, and like just the cover of it alone made me want to watch this movie. So I ordered it on Amazon for like $3.
What's going on, Jay?
It's a DVD release of Satan's Little Helper.
How did you find that?
I just looked it up on Amazon. But here's the best thing about Satan's Little Helper. I'll have to turn my light on for this. I'm gonna get look like I'm covered in Vaseline. But the best part about this one is it came in a Blockbuster case.
Oh wow!
Nice.
Yeah.
So that's a gem in itself.
Yeah, that was History of Violence, Jamie. That's I need to find that actually.
Yeah, I got lucky with this one. I'd check your Dollar Generals because I got it in a 2-pack. So.
I'm probably gonna go tomorrow. I'm off. Do some hunting.
I made a Dollar General like. See the perfect thing like between. I work like a half hour from my house, so between my house and work, there's about 43 Dollar Generals. not really, but it feels like it. So I like hit them all up, and I found a couple things yesterday. Like I found the Oceans 11, 12, 13 for like $6, and
there was one more that I got. I bought this one today, Corey. Actually, we went to a pawn shop, and I saw this one for $2. I'm very hesitant to watch it because of the edition it is, but I got the X-Files movie. But you see where it says the Ultimate X-File Edition, but it's kind of like the same way that's spelled in pedophile. I don't know if I want to. Might stay away from that.
What the fuck? And you got it from a pawn shop, so that's already.
Did you tell Lawrence my idea for you guys?
I did, and we actually considered doing it today, but I just wasn't feeling it. I think once we get those subs up a little more, we'll look into it. And actually, I'm glad we didn't because this pawn shop's movie selection sucked.
Yeah, it had like one bookcase that had like cobwebs and shit all over it.
No, the Dollar Tree, man. That's where I found that one that I sent in the chat. The Dollar Tree. They got some fucking movies in that bitch.
I hit one pawn shop down there last time I was down there and found some good shit, but I can't remember exactly where it was.
But yeah, Jamie, I think they had the one I went to had more than one copy of this one, so I would definitely check out the Dollar Generals if you'd like to get a double feature.
Why don't you swing by and grab that for me if you go by there again?
I got Raging Bull.
I'll see if they still got it.
So
you got it at the dollar store?
I got this at the dollar store. I seen it and I had to buy it, and I was like,
"Oh man, I would have too. I would have picked that up in a second."
Dollar store, you find some amazing shit in there.
Right.
I went in there one time. Now this was DVD. It wasn't a Blu-ray, but I went ahead and bought it anyway because it was. I think I paid $20 for it, but it was like a 20 movie collection of Alfred Hitchcock. So
I think I saw something similar like to that in ours, but
yeah,
that would have been something I needed to get.
Also, keep an eye out there around Black Friday-ish. They'll do like a pretty big sale on that shit. So it's a good time to get.
So Corey, since you've got a lot of gems in your collection, like, do you prefer like going? Of course, I know you prefer this way, but like, do you have any like rules on trying to avoid buying it online? Do you like try to find it in a store first, so it's more of like a gem to you than
I prefer
ordering it online?
I prefer to find it in the store, and if I can find it like for a really crazy deal, like pawn shops and like we have stores around here. I don't know if you guys have them down there, but it's like you go in the store and it's like a bunch of different booths that people have shit set up in.
Like a flea market kind of?
Yeah, like an indoor flea market.
Yeah, we have those.
I love finding like kind of rare shit or hard to find shit in those for like cheap. So that's like my ideal thing. My ideal thing is to find it out and about. But if I have to order it, I will. Yeah.
It's like chasing cards.
Yeah, it's fun. And like you can go out all day and only drop like $20 or something, and it's kind of a fun treasure hunt type of day. So
yeah, my general rule right now is that I'm not going to pay more than $10 for a movie. I'll only buy it if it's like under $10. So unless it's like something that I really want, like for example, that Halloween Blu-ray that's like I think close to 30. I'm just going to fork out the money for that because I really want it. But
did you get up on that My Bloody Valentine?
No, I didn't, not yet, but I need to.
Yeah,
because that one is awesome looking.
Nice. Well, I'll have some for next show. I'll save some pickups. I got some stuff coming in, I think, this week. So I dropped
Yeah.
about $60 on Amazon last night. So.
Yeah, I was actually excited because I checked my mail before I went out door dashing today. When I saw the Satan's Little Helper in there, I was like, yes, I can show it off. I've actually never seen this movie, so it's
I
gonna
haven't
be,
either. I picked it up last year, and I'm gonna save it for October. I think this year.
Maybe I'll do the same. Maybe we should. I'll save it for October, and we can both watch it, Lawrence.
Well, the My Bloody Valentine's.
No, Satan's Little Helper. Where are you? What planet are you on?
I heard
Fast
someone
and
say.
Furious.
Yeah, they got Fast and Furious.
My Bloody Valentine. You gotta watch on Valentine's Day. Shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that'd be cute for y'all to watch that on Valentine's Day together.
Oh, here we go.
Oh man.
You're just jealous because of how thin I look now on the camera.
Not anymore. Now that you turn the light on, now we can all see how bad.
Oh, here, let me turn it back off. There we go.
There you go.
Hayden,
Skinny gray.
I've only seen Psycho. Why have you only seen Psycho, Hayden? Hitchcock. Every one of his movies are good.
Yeah, I love Rear Windows. Fucking
That's
great.
my favorite, dude. Grace Kelly. Yeah,
I don't know that I've seen that one.
It's awesome.
it's one of his best, Greg. You'll love it.
How do y'all feel about Birds?
It's okay.
It's kind of cheesy to me, but it's fine. There's way worse shit you could watch.
It is cheesy, but when you watch the movie and like the shit's going down, like you're still like kind of like, man, that would fucking suck.
Yeah, dude. Strangers on a Train is better.
Vertigo's
yeah. Awesome too, but I love High Anxiety, the Mel Brooks version of that.
I've never seen it.
Great.
Corey, you seen Strangers on a Train?
I don't know if I've seen that one. There's a lot of, I'll be honest, there's a lot of Hitchcock I need to watch too.
I've only seen like 3 Hitchcock movies, but yeah, Vertigo is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, Vertigo's good, man.
I think I got my chair too low and I look like a big baby.
Yeah. It's okay.
I look like
at least I'm not doing this today.
I look like I'm sitting in like a little kid's chair. It's like my computer chair broke, so I went and took my daughter's little table chair and I'm sitting in that.
I thought you were sitting on her toilet.
I might be. Give it time. Oh man, but I guess I really enjoyed doing the list, so we'll definitely do more. So we're gonna do documentaries next. I hope I can assemble this list in a week. I'm gonna have to, like Corey said, I'm gonna have to watch some. But
yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch some too, or get some other opinions, because all mine are sports documentaries. Most of them, 90% of them are.
Fuck it. You know what?
Dustin,
whatever you want. Shit.
Dustin,
if they're your favorites, fucking put them. I don't care. If Greg don't care, it's his show.
you know what's sad is like I've only really seen maybe 1 or 2 30 for 30s.
Really?
They're really good, man. I was addicted to those. Like that's all I watched Netflix for was the 30 for 30.
They're just so long.
They're only an hour. Most of them are only an hour.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, though. Go ahead.
Some of them are so good. Like the Christian Leitner one is awesome. Dennis Rodman one is awesome. There's a bunch of them that are.
The Ric Flair one.
The Ric Flair one is great. Have you seen that one, Greg?
I think that's the only one I've seen. One of the only ones I've seen.
The best one was the Lance Armstrong. That was fucking crazy.
I tell you, one of my favorites is I can't think of the name of it, but it's heartbreaking. It's about the people that were at the soccer match in England, and like all the people get forced up against that fence.
Yeah.
And basically crushed and killed at this soccer match.
What was that?
It's a 30 for 30. I can't think of the name of it though.
What do you mean they got crushed by? Who crushed them?
I can't remember what happened, but like all these people got crushed up against this fence.
There's another soccer one about the Colombian goalie, I think, that missed the. He missed the
that was Andre. Yeah.
Went home and.
I can tell you what will definitely, if you haven't seen any of them, to maybe add to your list here, you should watch some of the Dark Side of the Rings.
Yeah, those
are really good too.
I need to catch up on those. I started watching them when they first came out, but I need to catch up.
Be a good chance Hoop Dreams will make my list. I'll just say that now.
Well, now I'm gonna have to go watch it because I seen it at the top of it was number 1 on some of the sports movie lists.
See, I know that I've seen it, but I don't remember it, so I'm gonna go back and rewatch it.
It's long, I'll warn you. But
How long?
You know
is
what
it?
sports
worth
movie that
watching.
nobody mentioned that's a good one, but I left it off my list because I hadn't seen it since I was like 7. But White Men Can't Jump.
Right.
That was a good one, man.
let's see. I could have almost done a top 20, I think.
Yeah, I could have easily.
There
We'd
was
have been
so
here till
many.
tomorrow.
I had like 3 different lists at one time where I was just like, I don't know what to pick.
Yeah.
Dude, the docs will be hard. I'm thinking now, I'm like, have I even seen 10 documentaries?
You have.
Yeah.
I would go
Yeah.
through one of those lists because there's probably
Yeah,
shit
go-
you're seeing that you don't remember.
There'll be a bunch of stuff you don't remember because I've watched a lot of like dumb murder documentaries and shit on Netflix.
Yeah,
that
the
are
serial
good.
killers will be on mine, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, sadly, it probably will be mine too.
Yep. Mine will be like half murder, serial killer, and half sports. That'll be mine.
There was so The Natural didn't make anyone's list, huh?
I've actually never seen that.
Is that the one with De Niro in it where he plays the scout
No, it's Robert Redford.
and he plays like a baseball scout or something?
No, he's a player.
Oh,
What was
You
the
know
one
what?
with Mel Gibson? Or not Mel Gibson, Dennis Quaid, the rookie? Did someone mention that?
I did,
Yeah.
and that's a good one though.
that is a
Yeah.
good one. I've only
Surprised
seen
that-
it one time though. That's part of the reason why I left that one off the list.
I just can't believe we left. Neither one of us had Kingpin on our list or Rookie of the Year. Corey.
Yeah, we mentioned it though. That was another one that I just could. It was on one of my lists, but I just couldn't add it to the final one.
I'm happy to say though that probably neither of those would have made my top 10. They might have made honorable mentions, but
Yeah, definitely not top 10, but Rookie of the Year was a good one.
Actually, my biggest regret of one that did make my top 10 was Angels in the Outfield.
Yeah, mine too.
I should have
that for
taken
you,
something
Greg.
off of that one.
Because that was whenever we said sports list, that was the first movie that came to mind, and I had it on one of my early lists, and then I left it off. I almost forgot Space Jam, but my girlfriend reminded me Space Jam, and I'm like, oh yeah, Space Jam.
Because like I'm looking at like some of where I got my movies from on the list. Like 8 Seconds, I really enjoyed that movie about bull riding. I kind of wanted to put that one on my list.
Yeah, I've actually seen that one. It is actually pretty good.
What about
And then
Mr. 3000 with Bernie Mac?
I'm glad.
So I'm just shocked Lawrence didn't put Air Bud on his since he loved all the Disney movies.
What about Airbud?
I was waiting for Lawrence to shock us with another dumb take, like Fast.
No, the reason why, dude, the Fast and Furious. Oh,
No,
because I was thinking
it's-
Bloodsport too. I was gonna put that on there, but
that would have been more better
appropriate.
than. Yeah.
Actually, Corey, one that I really thought was going to be on your list, but I don't even think it was in your honorable mentions, was Digstown. I was shocked you didn't have that one on any of yours.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
I've
look
never,
at Jay.
I've never seen it.
I thought you were the one who introduced me to that movie.
No. Yeah, fuck, Invincible's great. I had the longest yard on my honorable mentions, but like I dropped it off when I remembered Blue Chips.
We Are Marshall's crazy too.
Well,
Yeah,
actually,
that's great, too.
originally I had Mystery Alaska instead of Miracle on my list.
That's a good one too. Shit. Man, there's so many. Jamie
There
mentioned
really
this
is.
one too. I didn't put The Wrestler because I wasn't sure if we were going to count that. But like, Ready to Rumble is stupid, but I still love it.
Yeah,
I
it's-
figured that'd be on Greg's
I
list.
know Jamie mentioned that one.
No, actually, The Wrestler was one that I wanted on the list.
I've never seen
Yeah,
Brian's song.
I'm surprised, Greg, that you didn't have that on your list at all.
I wanted it on. Like, it was so hard, man.
How about this one? I've
Hey,
not
not
seen
that
it.
Invincible.
How about this one? I have not seen it, but everyone raves about Warrior with Tom
Yeah,
Hardy.
that
I
That is a
almost
good one.
had that on my
I-
list.
I did
I
almost
really
put
like that
one down,
movie.
too.
It is good. No one talks about it though. They'd rather talk about Never Back Down, even though Warrior was clearly.
How about what's the fucking movie with Christian Bale and is it Mark Wahlberg in it about the is it The Fighter? Is that what it's called?
Oh yeah, The Fighter. I
Yes,
think
The Fighter. Yeah, Mickey
that was a
Ward.
good
that's
movie
what-
too.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Friday Night Lights was on mine, Jay.
You know what's
Had to-
funny is like when I was compiling this list, I didn't realize how many good sports movies there is. Like
I
out
sort of
there.
I looked at a dog shit list apparently to make up my list because
No, I did.
There's
You
some
probably
big
looked
ones
at the
not on
one
it.
that I looked at first, and then I was like, "No, I need to look
The
at
Last Boy
looked at, like,
Scout.
I
There
looked
you go,
at
Mark.
like 3 different ones.
Yeah, Lawrence, that needs to be the next sports movie you watch. The Last Boy Scout.
Who's in it?
Damon Wayans and Bruce Willis, right?
Yeah,
What was Senseless?
It's more action movie than football
Yeah.
movie. I just love that scene in the football scene.
The action movies, those are going to be tough if we ever do an action movie list.
yours will be all superhero movies. What are you talking about? It's gonna be tough.
Superhero movies have to be in their own category. There's too many of them.
No, but dude, Greg, remember Angels in the End Zone? The football version of Angels in the Outfield?
No, I don't.
No,
It was so bad.
Never heard of that shit.
no, that's
Angels in the End Zone was so
there's a
bad.
reason why. That might have
Don't.
been like Mighty Ducks 5.
Yeah, don't watch it, guys. I didn't mention it. You didn't hear
At
it.
any point in the movie, did an angel do an interception?
They did more than that. Just put it that way. They do the Cabbage Patch and all kinds of crazy, stupid stuff.
So, Greg, you showed off what you bought recently. Anybody watch anything cool lately?
We all watched Conjuring, didn't we?
No,
Oh.
I did.
was gonna
I watched
go
it.
Watch it. I was actually going to go watch it, but
I'll wait and talk about that after Dustin's seen it.
I'll
It's
watch
an
it
old-
this weekend. We were going to go to the movie theater and see it on a date, but we didn't. So, but it's on HBO Max, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What he said? All right, I'll watch it. I got that. So.
Well, I guess we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, gentlemen. Just
That was a fun list.
but before I do something, I always say I'm gonna do every week that I don't do because I just want to give what I'm supposed to do according to what I say on the Patreon. Just want to give a shout out to our Patreon subscribers. We got our only goof
Not
off,
high. I'm just
which will
tired
be
and drunk.
Corey and the S'mores Indoors is our goof offs. And we also want to give a shout out to Shelby W. He is our total slack ass. Subscribe to our highest tier. So just wanted to say thanks to you guys for that.
What's going on, Jess?
Yeah, what's up, Jess?
But
Bad News Bears too. Shit.
going forward, we're gonna probably stretch the creepy classics out because we got other stuff that we want to do, like some watch-alongs and things of that nature that we're gonna also do sometimes on some Mondays. So Monday is gonna be a little bit of a roulette as to what type of podcast we do. So, but creepy classics will probably be like a bi-weekly thing. So, but just give everyone a chance to go around and say what you're doing, what you want to plug, anything you want to plug before we hop out of here.
Tomorrow night, first episode of East of the Rockies. That's our Art Bell style interview show, and our first guest on that show will be David Oman. If you don't know who David Oman is, he lives in a supposedly haunted house about walking distance down the drive from where Sharon Tate was murdered.
Yeah, I can't wait for that episode. I'm gonna probably listen to that like as soon as I get home.
That'll be 8 p.m. tomorrow Central Time. So
If you're still going when I get home, which I doubt you will be, because I don't usually get home till damn near midnight, but I might hop on there with you.
cool.
All right, thanks everyone for listening. Just hit that like and subscribe button if you
Hold on, Greg.
enjoyed what you heard here. Okay, look, come at it,
Well,
Lawrence.
we got some, about the things we got coming up. One last thing, I'm going to add some stuff on Wednesdays and up to the channel. I collect independent comics, like not like Marvel or DC, but more the independent kind of community that's on YouTube. Anybody familiar with like Comicsgate or anything like that? But Yeah, there's like people that like they make their own comics and they crowdfund these on like Indiegogo, and I got a bunch of them. I'm going to start reviewing and putting up on the channel for more content for us.
Definitely looking forward to it. Yeah, I can't wait to see what you show here because I haven't even seen a lot of this. So,
Right.
is it all right if I send us out of here now, Lawrence?
Yeah, you can go ahead, man. So,
All right. All right, everybody. Just thanks for listening. And until next time.
slack off.